I
Yeah.
uh, I stay in Bangalore, but my hometown is in north side of Karnataka.
Okay.
Uh, that place was very dear for me because I used to visit there often for all the festivals during holidays since my childhood. Uh, there are not many films have been made using that dialect and the stories of that place. So I wrote the story in Bangalore, and I decided to set the story in that place. So once I had the screenplay ready, I went there and I observed their culture and I got familiar to that place. And then I made them act. So the entire cast of my film are from the very village of my hometown.
Okay. And how did they participate? Was that an easy? Did they tell
Uh,
us some stories about how you got them to act?
yeah. Initially, when I said I'm making a film in your village, and they were like, "What is there in our village? Like you go to that place, there is a hill. You go to this place, there is a big temple." And they didn't know how beautiful their village and their small lanes. They were very delightful to see for foreign audience. And when it was the casting process and was was tough actually because they were not used to cinema at all. No. But once they saw themselves on the monitor, they got used to it, and they started enjoying acting for the camera. Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah, I mean, again, just a slight takeoff from what you were talking about. I feel that I mean, if I'm making a film about Bombay where I live, you know, I think there is enough and more of films on Bombay or even Delhi or Calcutta. I mean, there's city-centric films that in itself is almost a genre now. So whenever somebody is trying to, I mean, at least for me, when I was trying to make, okay, my mainstream commercial film is not happening right now. So what do I do now? So the desire to create a new world, to create a universe, and we were just sitting in I mean, we were trying to do that while we were writing, but we were right now sitting in front of a place which no one has seen. Like, I mean, everybody knows about Goa, but nobody realizes this aspect. So when they see Aizmaka, they're like, okay, this is a Goa film. Matlab, I mean, like, Belgaum is quite close to where we were shooting it.
Correct.
And if I were to shoot in Belgaum, it could also be Goa. So that there is there is a world, which we are not we have started tapping into it. These guys, me, all of us have started tapping into that world, which instead of keeping it in that same spaces, like कि India Gate के सामने कुछ किया या Gateway of India dance किया या you know there is so much here, so I'm really excited as I see that not just older people, like younger people are also doing that. That's quite cool, and I hope that this is sort of turnaround for Indian cinema itself, because
Absolutely. Yeah.
so yeah, so that sense of space, like you're saying, is a significant factor, which is, I think it is later probably critics and all would talk about it, that this was the era when all these guys went back to their grandfather's village and started making
And
stories,
started making.
so which is quite cool.
Harshad.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, right? I mean, we do talk about representation these days. No, like it's important. Representation is important, and that comes with the cities and towns of this country also. Like we are trying to tell stories of the towns which you've not seen before, or of people who you've not met before. Like the for me, telling a story of people from Belgaum was very important because I just wanted to show the interesting characteristics of our people, how we have, I mean, the conflict
The
of
language.
the
Mm.
Belgaum conflict is at the center of the story. But that's what I wanted to show, how we can seamlessly shift from speaking Marathi to Kannada to Dakhni to, like, just we
Mm-hmm.
can seamlessly shift from
Shift.
all three languages and talk, and that too on a regular basis, and yet people there are divided on these very languages.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting for me to want to sort of show focus that, and that's why I mean, having
So
people.
the other actors are also from?
Every
Everybody is
Yeah,
from the.
everyone in the film
Mm.
except for the girl who plays the lead
Harshad
character.
himself is the lead.
Yeah,
Is
I'm also playing one of the leads.
one of the leads
Yeah,
in
because
the
we
film.
had to save some money, so I didn't need to pay any other actor, so I played the
Okay.
lead. Uh, no, but for other reasons also. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so but except for the girl who played Parveen, she is from Bombay and she's from Hyderabad actually, but she
Okay.
works in Bombay.
Mm.
But otherwise, all of us were from Belgaum, and because I wanted people to have that this so the tone of speaking those languages.
Okay.
And it was one thing was like, because in the film the lead character in the film is a Maharashtrian,
Mm.
and I am the second lead, and I play a Kannadiga.
Mm.
But in reality, he's a Kannadiga and I'm a
Yeah,
Maharashtrian.
Maharashtra.
So so that was also an interesting way to uh, just tell the story.
Shruti, Smriti. I know for you, you've already talked about how it
Yeah.
is that place, and could you talk about what that process was about, say, getting actors involved in the film?
Mhm.
Most of them were non-actors.
Yeah, the main actors are professional actors only. Monikanto,
Mm.
Majuni, and um, Junmani.
Okay.
Majuni and Junmani, they are very new
Mm.
to cinema. Like, but Monikanto, he is a theater activist. So for me, I wanted to take the lead actors little professional only. Um, the rest of the actors I wanted to take from my village, which eventually happened also. And the I got a lot of support from my family members. My family members, like both my maternal and paternal, sides are from North Guwahati, and we camped there at their place, and you know, we just need to tell them like, okay, please come. We are shooting something, and you just be part of it. So for me, it was not a very difficult task to finalize the actors, but yeah, but I wanted to wanted them to look like the character. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and as I told you, I am from the place when I wanted to shoot the river more, and the boat service, the boat and ferries more. But when I shot there, boat and river boat service was not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
And but during that time, what happened, somebody came up and they arranged a boat. That boat you can see in the
Mm.
film, and they helped me with that also. And
So it doesn't
at this
exist anymore.
it doesn't exist anymore right
Okay.
now.
Mm.
Right now they're constructing bridge from south
Guwahati
Guwahati
to.
to North Guwahati. So at this time the landscape will be completely different. Yeah.
So the ferry no longer
Yeah.
exists.
No
Okay.
longer.
Okay. Okay. So this conversation about place, friendship, perhaps is a good way to shift to one of the things that is in focus in at Mami, which is the South Asia. The idea of having Mami as a South Asia hub, right? As a place, perhaps where filmmakers from across South Asia can build friendships, build connections, uh, use each other's experience, skills, etc. Build relations via co-productions, uh, and any number of exchanges that can happen, that is being imagined. uh, would you say there are some steps that are needed before that? Like, for instance, just the fact that perhaps many of you, except for, say, the two of you who've seen each other's films, many of you also haven't been able to see each other's film. Is that something that you think is important, that filmmakers should definitely have access to their peers' work, and it should be in a more institutional way, that there should be an institution that makes peers work available to for all of you to see, so things like that. So what would you imagine is the groundwork uh, for imagining, or for laying out this South Asia hub?
I mean, I mean, I was just, as you were talking, I have a lot to say about stuff like this, because for the last so many years, I used to work in sort of commercial, or I worked on films like Slumdog Millionaire and Delhi Belly and things like that. So I've been working like that to survive. I'm making reasonable money like that. But later on, I mean, I got serious about making films, and film schools. When you get out, everybody expects you to have a film. It's like you're married and you don't have a child, and there's this stigma around you. Ki, "Arey, kya ho gaya?" So the same things with film school guys. Ki, what is wrong with him? Why is he not making film? So that's when I started getting into it, and in that process, I have survived the last whatever so many years purely because of that spirit of the independent filmmaker. So I worked as an editor, as a cinematographer, sometimes as a writer, as designer for independent films, and I've been doing that for last few years. And uh, definitely needs a definitely needs some kind of platform or some kind of support of some sort, if somebody is able to provide that. Like there are festival programmers, and there are I don't know what to call those people who coordinate festivals, and who keep communication with the filmmakers, write articles about them, discuss these things, like academic cinema, or what I would like to call sort of academic cinema only. When you're trying different things, and that needs support, and that needs a critique, and that needs discussion.
True. I mean, we
Yeah.
are talking about largely independent films because,
Yes.
I mean, that way Bombay is already the hub, right? Not just South Asia. There is a way in which filmmakers are coming here for particular kinds of post-production work, etc. That's already happening. But for independent cinema, and also to build this relationship amongst peers, because you're also